Hi there. Before I start, I just want to say that at the start of this video, I had a couple of pictures up, and these pictures were one of them was of COVID-19. The other one was, I believe it was AIDS. And what was the other one I had? AIDS, HIV. I had coronavirus as well. Oh, sorry, and exosomes as well. And if you notice, the three of these things all look pretty much the same. And this is why there's actually been doctors that have already come out and said exosomes are viruses. There was an excellent I watched this. I think she's an NHS nurse. She does videos on YouTube, and she was saying that, and she sometimes does video with this weapons expert who talks about 5G. But anyway, to cut a long story short, she was explaining about this top doctor that was explaining about viruses, and that exosomes is coronavirus, and that because this thing was never isolated, this COVID-19. And also they tricked you as well. How they tricked you is they got you to believe that coronavirus was COVID-19. You speak to most people and you say coronavirus and they think that's COVID-19. No, it's two different things. It's a bit like HIV and AIDS, and ignorance puts them the same. HIV is the infection of low immunity, and AIDS is when it's really bad. It's like a spread of low immunity in your body. Now, coronaviruses exist in our bodies. The coronavirus is the common cold that we all get, and COVID-19 doesn't exist. COVID-19 doesn't exist at all. Not scientifically, because I've watched many doctors and scientists say this. Not systematic doctors and scientists, but people say that what they did was, this is according to Dr. Andrew Kaufman, who I watch on YouTube. He's very good. And he came out and said that what they did was they took a piece of genetic material, fluid from the lungs. Now what they did was they took a sample, or it might have been a couple of samples. But even if you got one sample, that could be many different things. You could have a bunch of coronaviruses in there, but not the COVID-19 that you're looking for. And also, I saw a video on the internet last week, and it was China's laboratories that they do all this, that the COVID-19 broke out on. And I think it was one of the American news channels, and they were exposing how dirty it was. Now, if they're really dirty in China, I mean, China is where this stuff all came out from, then how can you trust that they're giving you the truth? They're telling you what they did, but you don't actually know. And when we look at these three pictures of coronavirus, AIDS, and exosomes, they just look the same. Are we picking up? And all these things, if you look at the three of them as well, AIDS, HIV, coronavirus, and exosomes, they're all attached. They're all to do with low immunity. So what we're really looking at is low immunity. Right, I'm not a doctor, but I can work that out. Exosomes is to do with low immunity. When your immune system's low, you develop flus and colds. Or you can just develop a flu from just having low immunity. So that's what we're looking at. That's what this whole pandemic is based on, low immunity. And what did they take out before the outbreak? 5G. And then you have an outbreak. And what does Dr. Buttar say? Dr. Buttar and other doctors say that what the 5G component does is it lowers the immunity. And then your body will produce illness. So I personally believe that what they're taking, they did in China was take a fluid from the lungs, which they said they did, but it was low immunity they picked up, and calling that a virus. So then you build a test, and all the test has got to do is test for this low immunity. Right? I'm not a doctor, but I can work out that these three pictures all look the same because it's all pictures of a low immune response. Right? That's what it is. Exosomes are that. Coronaviruses are that. HIV, AIDS, low immunity. Right? It's all to do with low immunity. Now, yeah, and that's it. Sometimes you can have illness. Sometimes you get people who are fighting fit, right? And they don't know they've got a cancer growth. So sometimes low immunity, you can have it without knowing it's there. That's the thing about cancer. That's the thing, and about low immunity. Sometimes we don't know it. This is why I got into health stuff. But the thing is, cancers can actually come. And there's a good guy I watch on YouTube. It was might have been a few years ago, but he said that this very good doctor cured someone of AIDS and cancer. And he said that cancer and AIDS comes from a feeling of hopelessness for the future. And you see, we have illnesses like emotional sickness from past lives as well. And what they do is all things come from emotion. The Heart Math Institute in America talks about this. And so sometimes you can have a trauma deep within you, a cancer growth coming from that trauma, but you're not aware of it because you're happy in this life, you see. But you're not focusing on a lot of healing, so you're not able to heal it. Right? Still, if an unhealed part is so deep, it will still develop into a cancer growth. Everything comes from emotion, your awareness. This is a proven fact now. We are all consciousness, energy, awareness. And, you move on to another life, after this one. And life continues. And so, I personally believe that when you develop a cold or you develop any illness, it's because of deep psychological trauma within your energy field. And I think and that's why they say disease, dis-ease, disharmony. This is proven facts in the Heart Math Institute in America. They actually heal people, and they show you how you can heal your entire body by changing your thoughts and feelings, right? Because the body is so sensitive to electricity, and your negative thoughts are like a harsh electrical field that damages the body. And so there was a woman yesterday debating with me on Twitter, and she was so in her own belief system. Even another woman jumped in the conversation and told her the same that I told her, and she still was arguing. And that's an example of someone in their beliefs and they're not looking for the truth at that stage. At that stage, people like that aren't looking for the truth. It's all about them being right. And, I just gave up in the end, and so did the other woman, because there was no getting through to her. No one was agreeing with her. But that's what COVID-19, one of the things that COVID-19 has done, it's actually gotten people's belief systems. When I'm in shops, I don't bother saying anything to people with masks on, because they're in their beliefs that this is the right way, and they believe that government is going to help them. And I don't bother saying anything because it's a waste of time. I know exactly the kind of response I'm going to get. So I just, if someone's interested in listening, then I tell them something. But if they're not, then it's a waste of time. But yeah, these three pictures in this video, are just pictures of low immunity. Right? And low immunity can produce illness. You can have low immunity and not realize you got low immunity. How many people don't take vitamins in the mornings? How many people don't take supplements and vitamins? Right? And your body is, most people's bodies are very low in immunity, and so they'll just produce illness, right? And then that's it, and that's how it starts. But you don't get a virus from touching someone as well. That's the social distancing thing is more lies as well. None the people that take this stuff out, they haven't got any proof of claim. And because I've been watching a very good documentary about the Spanish flu, and what they're saying is in the Spanish flu, they put bags over the heads of horses when they sneeze, and then they put the same bags on another horse. Nothing happened. The horse that was well didn't get sick. The people that got sick, they would take snot and put it into a needle, inject it into a healthy person, and it didn't work. So what does that tell you? Well, it tells you, like they were saying in that documentary I was watching, that you can't give someone else an illness unless it's like you're having sex with them or something, like in an AIDS situation. That's different. But just touching their body isn't enough, right? Because remember, our immune system is incredibly strong anyway. Just touching someone, if you've got something that's airborne, isn't enough, because our immune would kick it to one side. That's why we've all got coronaviruses in us. But normally, people, if they drink alcohol, for example, they will get a cold. But the cold has already been there. It's just that the low immunity allowed it to manifest itself. Right? It's the same idea when cancer patients go for chemotherapy, and they're told they can't get a cold, because it might kill them, because their immune system is so low with the chemotherapy. And so that's basically all illness comes from low immunity. And low immunity comes from, well, everything starts by your emotions, by how you feel. And from that comes from how you treat your body. You only have self-respect if you feel good about yourself. And so that manifests in how you're eating and the vitamins you're taking, whether you're going to fast or not. And that develops everything else. Remember, your body is just whatever you're putting into it. And also your feelings, because we are feelings, emotions. And that is in everything's energy. And so that's how you keep yourself well from any illness, is to just, it's all to do with your energy field. Like I said earlier, this guy I watched on YouTube from New Zealand, he's a hypnotherapist, and he talked about this doctor that cured someone of AIDS and cancer. And the doctor just said that all illness comes from a feeling of hopelessness for the future. And he might not even be talking about this life, because I personally believe that sometimes people can get cancer when they're well and having a great life. I think they get it unexpectedly because of past life traumas that they haven't healed from. A lot of people that don't do healing don't understand. Also, the vaccinations, what are they doing? What are they putting like traumas into our bodies that we don't know, and that could develop cancers, right? So this stuff needs to be looked at, and that's what we need to understand. The illness everything comes from your feelings, and that develops into almost like cancers within our body. And this is, like I say, this isn't made up. This is a place in America called the Heart Math Institute, and they teach people this, that everything comes from your thoughts and feelings. How your perceptions of the world is your awareness, and that manifests everything. That's how you activate your DNA. It's all to do with your awareness. Everything is your awareness. Change your awareness, you change your reality. But I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and for latest updates, please do check out my website, which is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.